And that's part of what we're here to talk about today, are opportunities to save costs, be successful in your business, and ways to minimize that risk and take the right actions proactively before those risks end up biting you.
What we can do now. So at this juncture, you really need to identify within your organization who's going to be responsible, who's going to be involved, who's going to read the instructions. Secondly, you really need to, as I mentioned earlier, identify some vendors. And it could be, there are multiple companies. You can go Google. Go Google ACA tracking solutions. There are a zillion that are popping up. You just have to find the right fit for your organization.
Before you start a project, you need to talk to somebody, one of your consultants, or if you have an in-house person that deals with abatements and incentives, to know what the new law is so you can make sure that you get your documentation done on the front end. Because once you start a project and you have not gone through the process, been approved by the Commerce Department or the governor, it's probably too late. So I think the main thing is just to be aware that there is new legislation in effect, and you need to deal with it on the front end.
Sure. Well, I think especially the manufacturing and automotive industry is in a real growth stage right now in our state and region. And I think part of what goes with that is early on there's a great cash outlay. There's a lot of money spent, very little benefit coming back to you in the short term. Most of these decisions are long-term and solid decisions. What we believe is that in that process there are a lot of current things, tax deductions, tax credits, cash that you can use, reinvest in operations that are available there. It's just a matter of informing the businesses that they're there.
Sure. I mean, I think anyone in automotive manufacturing who's paying attention to what's going on with the regulators has to be aware that product safety is an increasingly important issue. And one of the keys to addressing product safety issues is making sure that you're collecting safety information from across your whole organization. So one of the key points of my presentation today, and one of the things that we're focused on at MBUSI, is going out to everyone who's involved in building the cars and making sure that we're getting good real-time information from them on how their processes are going, on how their job is going, and whether or not they feel like they're succeeding in the job that they've been assigned to do.
First of all, risk management needs to be treated as a process, like any other process with inputs and outputs in your business. Look at those factors that can affect your ability to supply your customers, and that's really what it's about. And it's really protecting you and your customer base.
One big thing that I wanted to talk about was the cost of recalls and the impact that can have on a manufacturer literally for decades. And obviously if an OEM's business goes down, a supplier's business goes down. That's axiomatic. And the other thing about it is to work closely with your OEM to make sure that the line of communication is, if you discover that something's not working, pick up the phone and let them know that.
So one of the really important things I think is risk perception. I think product recalls are an increasingly significant and severe exposure for a lot of companies. There isn't a great deal of insurance coverage available in the US. And I think really importantly, we specifically are one of the global market leaders in this insurance space and have developed coverage specifically for car manufacturers or car part manufacturers in North America. And exclusively with AAMA developed specific coverage enhancements, and we're very keen to introduce that product to members of AAMA.
We talked about travel accident and taking care of your number one asset, which are your employees. And when they're traveling outside of their country of domicile, the product that we were talking about wraps around the basic health coverage that they have to give them peace of mind wherever they're traveling, knowing that their health care is provided and covered.